Hello, Nigel here with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. And yes, I've got a stinking cold, so if my voice sounds a bit funny, that's why. And if you see me having to keep stopping the video, it's because I'm coughing or editing out or whatever. So we go, there's number one a few seconds in. So there we are. Right, so this is the Gannet. We're now on part 5. While I've been off camera, I got this nose glued on, sanded everything out, blended it all in, and then rescribed everything. And it's all looking hunky-dory. For some reason, I think there was some distortion in my kit here. I've spoken to Sully and he had no issues here whatsoever. But for some reason, it was like my kit was very fat here. It was almost like I had a bulge in it there. So I think it must have been taken out the tool too soon or something. But it's all sorted. It's just a case of sanding and scribing. It's nothing unachievable. So there we go. Right, so now it's time to have a look at fitting the wings. So we can... these wings are just going to literally slide on over these spars, like so. If we push them all the way in, they kind of lock into place, so I'm tempted to not push them all the way in. What I'm going to do is just put some cement in here. This is the Tamiya extra thin. Doing it over the model, that's very silly in case it drips. And then we will... just slide this on. I may actually turn this off in a minute because this is ridiculous. Stopping the camera every 20 seconds is a joke. So there we go, you heard that click in, that's gone in beautifully. And I love the way they've done this. They've got the recess in the fuselage so the wing goes in, which gives us a nice easy joint to repair there. Excuse me. So that's that one glued in. Now, I'm kind of a bit concerned because of the design. I can't get any glue into those seams. So what I'm tempted to do is underneath, just quickly let some capillary around. A few spots should be enough to hold it. I mean, it's in there anyway. I'm not going to do anything on the top just in case we do get any glue marks. But with this one's going to have the wings folded, so they'd probably be pretty hidden anyway. Just put some back there. Let that capillary in. There we go. That'll be enough to hold that solid. Okay, so there's our wings glued in, starting to look a bit like an aeroplane now. So, go over the page, we've got all this here which we've already done. It's all the folded wing parts. And then we're on to the tail feathers. So, here we have the rudder. Now the rudder is beautifully designed on here, it fits lovely. As you know, so many models I've done recently have real problems with the rudder because there's just no attachment. I end up putting brass wire in there, but this has got two little attachment points, two little hinges. I'm going to leave that off for now because I may knock it when I'm doing the tailplanes. So I'm going to get these tailplanes, get them the right way up. That one's going to go into there, like so. As you can see, we have cutouts in here and they fit around those cutouts in there. So what I should be able to do here is get some extra thin front and back. Excuse me for sniffing, guys. I think I may have to step aside doing videos for a couple of days because it's not easy. Right, so what I'm going to do now is put some cement on here, and I'm going to put some in there, and I'm going to put some in there. There we go, just slot that into there. That's a nice tight fit. And there we are. So that's those in. So what we'll do here is just put a great big drop of cement in the trailing edge there where it won't be seen. Like that. I think I'll put a drop at the leading edge as well, just underneath the leading edge. There we are. Just like that. And that'll be enough to hold those in. Okay. So we're going to let that dry for 10 minutes, then we'll come back. I must say, guys, the design of this kit is absolutely incredible. The positive, the positive fitment of these wings over those spars is just excellent. and then you've got these tailplanes going into the fuselage. It's just fantastic. It really is absolutely brilliant. Very, very good indeed. So so there we go. Now the next thing I'm going to do is get my Mr. Surfacer out. And what I'm going to do, give it a shake. I don't normally shake it because it gets all up into the lid. What I'm going to do is get my brush. Here we are, Mr. Unprepared. Any old scabby old brush. Don't use something nice. I'm using the 1000 because it's thinner. In fact, this does actually need thinning a bit. So we'll get a drop of leveling thinners in there. Just like so. Thin it out a bit. If your Mr. Surfacer is a bit too thin and you want it a bit thicker, just take some out, put it in the lid like that. Okay, and then just leave it there for 5 minutes and it'll thicken up to what you want. So there we go. So that's that. I'm just going to wipe this neck of this brush down. You can see now why I use a scabby old brush. And the reason I'm using the 1000 is what I've found from experience. If you use the 500, it's much thicker and it doesn't capillary in so well, especially where you've got, you can see here there's a wider gap there than there is there. It'll capillary in there okay, but when you come to remove it with a cotton bud, you'll find you'll get loads of air bubbles in it because it hasn't capillaried in. So it's better to have something too thin and you can see it there, it's capillarying along the joint. Yeah, so it's better to have something too thin and have to do 2 or 3 coats. Now the thicker bit there we can put over here. Just like so, and then we'll go back to the thin back here. See that all that lovely rivet detail we're covering up? Don't worry about that, we'll get all that back. Okay, you can see I'm sort of stabbing it on to push it in. And then what we'll do is let that dry and then put some more on the top. Unfortunately, the fit on the bottom is better than the fit on the top. Just do that all the way around. Get the thicker stuff back here. Another cough break. Okay, so there we go. So I'm going to go around and do all the same round there, same round the tailplanes, let it dry, do another coat, and then we'll do the cotton bud stuff. So I'll see you in a minute. This is extremely difficult, guys. Okay, a couple of hours later now, I've put another coat on there, but we've got the Mr. Surfacer in those joints now, so we'll leave that for another couple of hours and then we'll go with the cotton bud. If you leave it for like 2 days, it can be really difficult to get it off, but if you try and remove it after like half an hour, you tend to just pull it all out, because obviously the surface will be dry, but down inside where it's actually gone in, it'll still be very wet. So you want it to sort of dry out, but if you leave it too long, it can be difficult to get off. You have been warned, but this is by far the best way to fill gaps and then and not lose your detail, which I think I've shown you somewhere else, haven't I, on this? So there we go. But anyway, it's really, really coming along. So looking in the instructions, so we've done the tail feathers. I haven't put the rudder or the tailplane or the elevators on yet. Next is the nose, which we've done. I haven't put the spindle on for fear of breaking it off, so that's okay. It's in the box there. It's just a case of plop it in, put that disc on, put some glue around there, and then we'll put the prop on. Job done. All this down here, we've built up these wheels, which I'm not going to be using. I've got resin ones. This is for the undercarriage up. So there we go. And when we get down to here, you can see we're starting now with the undercarriage down. And the first thing to do is fit the doors. If you remember, the fantastic instruction designer got us to clean these slots out before we actually fitted them to the wings. So it's much easier to do at that point than find that they don't fit now. So that's really good. I would recommend not doing this yet until all your painting's done and everything. but I want to get the undercarriage built up. So what I want to do is get the undercarriage in the bays, and we've got these separate arms going on. I want to get those on so I could just drop the unit in as one rather than having to glue it, because I'll get glue marks on the legs. And I think these are all Sky, aren't they? 11. Yeah, this is all Sky. That's 56. So yeah, and then this is this little link here on the nose gear. That piece there was snapped already on the sprue, so I had to glue that back together. It was snapped right where the chrome needs to be. So what I've done, I've got these parts off, and as you can see, they're all here. And these are the actuators for the front gear doors. But we need to do the chrome on the gear doors. So yeah, I've got the right ones. I don't have an E40. I've taken these off on the sprue because the sprue attachment points are on the ends, which are going to be cleaned up to glue anyway. And we also get to keep the number. You see 49 there. So just going to have a quick check. Actually, there's nothing else that needs to be done in chrome. I'm just wondering about Bombay doors and stuff. Yes, we need to do those as well. So we've got the, yeah, there's 4 Bombay door actuators. They've got chrome as well, so we need to get those off and get those cleaned up. I'll get that done and I'll come straight back. So I went for the manual, and there's also a couple of actuators for the wing folds as well that need some chrome on them. I'm sort of concerned that maybe these hang on a second. Yeah, I've done that one. Yeah, I've done that one. This one here, I wonder if there'll be a bit of chrome on that one there. I'm just sort of wondering, having a look at it. I guess I need to go look at some real shots, don't I? But I'm wondering. No, it's probably all the way contracted, so no, it won't be. Right. So the obvious choice for chrome is to use this stuff here, which is Molotov liquid chrome. And you can get it in a pen form, and you can get it in this bottle form. You shake it really, really well, and it is very, very shiny. As you can see on the end of the bottle there, it is very much like chrome. It's beautiful. The downside to it is not very hard wearing, and I've done a couple of tests with bits and pieces, and I've even found that if you give it a clear coat, it sort of dulls it down, and it's still not very tough. It remains almost wax, almost like, you know, when you paint your skirtings with white gloss paint, it's still soft after about 4 or 5 days. You won't leave finger marks, but you could push your nail into it. It's that kind of soft. So what I'm going to do is my usual here, and I'm going to give them a coat of gloss black LP1, then a very thin layer of Alclad chrome to get them looking like chrome, and then once that's dry, I'll give them a coat of aqua gloss from Alclad. The reason we use aqua gloss, if I used like something like LP9 or something on the chrome, it would just look like silver paint. Whereas if I use aqua gloss, it stays looking like chrome. If you want to see what I mean, go back and have a look at the latter parts of my Saturn V build, and you'll see where I did the command module. It's beautiful. It's really chrome-like, and it stays chrome-like with the aqua gloss, but you mustn't shake it. Okay, so there we go. Right. So I'm going to get on and get that done. I might come back and show you putting the chrome on, because some of you may not have seen that. Then we'll go from there. Okay, so we've done the gloss black, as you can see on there. Nice and shiny. All looking good. That's Tamiya LP1 with a drop of retarder in it. So this is the Alclad 2 Chrome. Alclad is now marketed by Migamo, and it's called A Stand. It's apparently the same. I believe it's got less pigment in it personally, and the shape of the bottle dictates that you need to now get it out with a pipette, because with this one you can pour it out and all the pigment will flow out because of the shape of the bottle. The A Stand bottle has a very square neck, and the pigment tends to stay in the bottle, and all you get is clear. So we're going to put a drop of this in the airbrush, not too much, just a drop. There we go, we don't need much at all. And then we're going to grab a cloth and wipe off the airbrush because it's gone all down the side. Put the airbrush back in its stand, wipe the top off, and then we will put the lid back on securely. Right, so I'm just going to quickly check my flow. I'm down to about 12 psi, okay? You don't want high pressure with this. You just want a tiny little bit of paint. You don't want much at all. So I'm going to do this big bit here to show you. Now, the idea of this is, I'll show you on the sprue, less is more. If you just come in and lay it down like this, that is no good at all. What you need to do is lay it down very, very slowly and build it up. Okay? Now it does dry very fast, so you do get some tip dry. Just give it an odd blast now and again. Okay, so I'll show you on the black. So we'll just lay it down very, very slowly and make sure we go evenly around the shaft. Just checking my flow. And what you're actually doing, you're putting a very thin layer on top of the gloss black, so the chrome effect is by the silver with the gloss black behind it. And hopefully there you can see, we have chrome. Okay, so we'll do the same here. Build it up very, very slowly. If you go too far, if you put too much on, you end up with it just looking like it's painted silver. The secret is to let the gloss black show through. And what I found is, I've said this before, you can actually achieve like a polished aluminium look. If you go gloss, like a very light gloss grey underneath, you get that lighter look. Okay, now if I go any more than that, I'll lose the chrome effect. But you can see on there, we have chrome. Okay, at least when it's on the model, it will look. When you put it up against anything like the model, you can see you have this very shiny look to it compared to, you know, when you just look at that on its own. So I'll go on and get the rest done. I'll just do this leg here for you. Just check the airbrush and then just go round. There we go. There's our nice chrome leg. Alright, so I'll see you in a minute. Alright, we've got our clear on there now, so we'll let those dry for a day or so, because the reason I was talking about the hard wearing requirement, we obviously need to mask those and then spray the legs. I worry that the Molotov stuff won't handle being masked, so after the masking tape's been on there for a while, it's going to mark it and stuff, so I'd rather use the proven methods. Now, as far as this Mr. Surfacer goes, there's a couple of layers on there. You can see we've got the gaps all filled. So what we're going to do now, using Mr. Colour levelling thinners, we're going to come in here with a cotton bud. Excuse me. We'll do this top wing here on camera, and I'll do the rest off because you don't want to watch me do this. You can see this has been on here for a couple of hours, and it's coming off quite easily. If you leave it too long, it won't come off very easily. So we've done that. We've got that nice and wet. We can just go along, and just anywhere you want to get a bit more, just push the cotton bud in. There you go, and then we can come to the other end, just dry it off. And that's how you do a seam without losing. Here we've got raised rivet detail down there, we've lost none of that. We've got raised rivet detail up here, we've lost none of that. You can see now, just push it tighter into there to get it out of that corner. Built up a bit in that corner. There we go, that's better. And now you can see we have, when that's painted, that is a seamless joint. Okay, you can see here, I don't know if you can make it out with my pointer, you can see there's a bubble. You can see there a little dark area. So we just put a bit more in there and go over it again. We'll probably get a few of those little bubbles. But I'll do the rest, I'll do the tailplanes and everything, do any little repairs, and then we'll come and see how it looks. Right, moving along, all done. All nicely sealed up, looking lovely, so that's good. I've been looking at all these tail feathers and that, and I'm not going to put them on now. I may paint the model first, because I'm thinking I might just give it a bit of an angle, like with the rudder, have the rudder on, like so, and then just have it slightly off, and have these just hanging down just a touch. Because there's a couple of pictures on that Airfix magazine, and they have the rudders, the elevators, sorry, hanging down, and then the rudder off slightly. So maybe they did hang down slightly. So I think that's what I might do, just for a bit of interest. I think Wendy would like it that way. Right, looking up here now, moving on, we're up to step 154. You can see we've got an option here of having one hole with an antenna there, or we've got two holes with this antenna here. So what they do, they give you this, it's very, very clever and very well designed, well done. We've got this little piece here, this is H7, and it's got these two little, you can see it's got these two little nubbins on here, and they line up in these two circles here. So that keys into there beautifully, it's not going anywhere. And then with the 0.8 drill, we come along and draw some holes in the fuselage. I don't know if I need to go right through, or just do a few turns to start with. That one's gone through. May as well go through the other one then. There we go. So that's that cleaned up. Quick wipe over with a sponge just to remove any raised burrs. And then we need H9. H9, which is gone. Oh dear. H9 is not there. I'm going to have to see if I've lost it or if it was never there in the first place. I might have to get onto Airfix again. So that's F. What H? Duh. H is on this end. Idiot. That could have been embarrassing, couldn't it? H9 is there. It's a bit weird. Oh, that's 6. 9, there it is. Right. I'm making a right mess up of this, aren't I, eh? Okay, so we've got a sprue gate there, so we'll get rid of that. This is a bit weird, isn't it? Bit of a weird part. And then we've got a ejector tab there. Let's get rid of that sprue gate. There, so I'm going to hold this in some tweezers. Just like so. Get my finger. Oh, this is a nightmare. Basically, I'm going to get this cleaned up and get it glued on. Let's see how it fits in those two holes. It's lovely. Right. Okay then. See you in a minute. Okay, so that's on. I would suggest not using that jig, to be honest with you now. Perhaps use it to mark, but what I found when I put it on, it was actually sitting on an angle. When I put the jig back on, it actually has a bit of play in it, so be a little bit careful. Perhaps draw sort of 0.6 holes and then see if they're in line, or even just measure the distance and use a piece of tape and drill them yourself without that jig. It's a good idea, but it hasn't quite worked out. Maybe it should have been a bit longer so it couldn't twist. So looking at these clear parts, these lovely clear canopies, they have a seam in the middle, so we're going to have to get rid of that. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this done a million times before. Just going to get these off of here, leaving plenty of, this is nice soft clear plastic so it doesn't all shatter. Sometimes it just, especially with like Hasegawa clear, you cut it, it's like, you know, it shatters and leaves a great big shot mark through the clear part. So we're just going to get these off to polish them. So what I'm going to do first of all is get rid of these ejector tabs, and I'm going to sand the ends down. You don't need to see that, do you? Okay, so these seams on these canopies, this sort of applies to pretty much all canopies with a seam. You can see we have got a seam in the middle. I'm not sure if you can make it out. It's there. So the first thing I'm going to do, what a lot of people do, is shove a piece of blue tack up inside to support it, to stop you breaking it. But these look quite strong, so I think we'll be okay. The problem with a blue tack in there is getting it out again. You might break it pulling it out. So I'm just going to go over the seam with a knife blade, and I'm not pushing down. It's the weight of the knife, and I'm not letting the knife dig in or chatter or anything like that. Don't forget you've also got seams on the frames, so get them out and make sure you get right into the corner of the frame, otherwise you'll have you'll see like a little seam line. What I'm going to do there in the corner is just come along my radius blade and just scrape in, just to make sure we've got no ridge in that corner. Okay, so you can see I've just removed the ridge, and you can see you've got like a dull line now. So this is a Flory polishing skinny stick, no longer available unfortunately. I'll do it with this, and then I'll show you the others with the normal sponges. Oops, that's what you've got to be careful of. If you catch it, you will break it. I'm keeping my finger up inside now to support it. Okay, and then on this frame, I'm going to have to do this off camera, I think, because I can't really see what's going on here. There's like 2 steps on there. So there's like a step up to the frame, and then there's a step down to the glazing. You can hear that step, it's huge. I'm going to have to have a look under a magnifier. But, and then what we'll do is go to the white side of the stick and polish. What you can do is just wet it on your tongue. Just keep polishing with the white side of the stick, and when it squeaks, you'll know it's polished. I think we've done this before on the wingtips, wasn't it? There you go. So now you can see that seam has completely gone. Okay, now if you want to give it a nice proper polish with a bigger sponge, a little bit of moisture, careful not to let it get too hot because it may distort. Alright, so there you go, you can see there, no seam, no scratches, no nothing, and that's because I haven't gone in heavy with the knife, I haven't gone in with heavy sanding sticks. Alright, so I'll do another one now, not using the skinny stick, so we're just going to use our conventional Infini. I got that there, that is much too coarse, that's a 600 grit, don't even think about using that. Right, so here we got one here, again you can see the mould line in the middle, yeah. So I'm just going to come along with a knife, just gently scrape that seam away. This one's a bit bigger than the last one. Just letting the knife do the work. Making sure we get right down into that corner. So again, I'm going to come along with the blade. Just go sideways. I can see there. Yeah, we've still got a ridge there. Look, it's quite a big seam, this one. Got like an undercut in it, I think. There we go, it's going now. And as you say, it's a nice sharp blade, and let the knife do the work. Don't dig the knife in. Don't be tempted to, you know, scrape it like you would on a piece of sprue or something. And like I say, at the end here, I'm just going to let this blade just run across in the corner just to make sure there's no seam line there. But the same here, it's like a double, on the ends it's sort of got an undercut in it. No doubt yours will be the same because they all come from the same tool. Okay, so here I've got a 1000 grit sponge, which is probably a little bit too coarse. I'm just going to very gently go over just to remove any marks left by the knife. I didn't go over the ends, did I? I didn't do the canopy frames. Do those after. Okay, so there's a 1000 grit, and I'm using the sponge going into the corners, not pushing down, and you can see now we've got a slightly dull patch, but we've got rid of the lines, or have we? There we go, we've got rid of the lines. So that's that. So then come the 1500. Just lightly polish that. Then a 2500. And you'll notice with all these purple ones it stays dull. But what we're doing here is removing scratches. I've got to keep the rubbish out the inside so I can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to get that 1000 into that corner. Just going to get into that corner after I've coughed and coughed. Not happy with that. Where's my other knife? Where is it? Here it is. I'll leave the camera running so you can see what I'm doing, because I know this scares a lot of modelers to death doing this. Don't be scared of anything. You've got a piece of plastic in your hands. You've got a really helpful spares department at Airfix. If you mess up, tell them you've messed up. They'll sell you or they'll send you a new part. And don't try lying to them. Don't say the sprue was missing or whatever, because that's just not fair. That's just taking the mick. That's taking the mick out of a kind-hearted support service. It's like with Revell. You tell Revell that you've messed something up, they just send it to you free of charge. I guess it's depending what it is. I know with Airfix I've bought sprues off them. I lost some parts, so I bought a replacement sprue. Other times they've just sent it. There we go. We're going to keep polishing that. I think this stick's getting a bit worn out, to be honest. I mean, you can get your Tamiya polishes and your buffing compounds and all that. You can dip them in microcrystal clear. You can dip them in all sorts. You can do all sorts if you want to. I'm just showing you the basic way to get a nice looking canopy. You can still see that needs a bit more of a polish. It's a little tiny touch dull. We shall see how it comes out. Alright, so I'm going to get the others done and then I'll come back when we're ready to mask them, because I have this. This is the Art Scale Kit mask set, and this is double-sided, so it's interior and exterior. So we're going to have to mask and spray the windscreen and this centerpiece before we actually fit them. So it looks really good when you have the insides masked, because when you actually look at the outside you can actually see the black of the inside through it, and it kind of makes it like it's got a frame around the clear. You'll see what I mean. It looks great. Right, see you in a minute. So we've got our clear parts here all lined out in order. We've got our Art Scale Kit here. Our Art Scale Kit mask set, should I say. This is actually 200 M48210. If you're in the UK you can get this from Hannant's, or you can get it direct from ASK. So we've got a nice little folded up sheet here. And then on here we have interior and exterior. So if we start with the front piece, okay, the front piece here, then we can, on the inside we want mask number 28. So interior here, exterior there, yeah. So we want mask number 28. So I'm going to get that. I'm going to grab some tweezers here. Okay, so we're going to get mask number 28. I'll do one of these on camera and then I'll do the rest off because I need to do it under a magnifier. 28, there he is. 28. So we'll just pick up that corner. There we go. And then we can get our tweezers under there. And then what you have to do is look at this and try and visualize which way around they are. Are they that way round? Or are they that way round? Okay. Tell you what guys, this bloody cough is doing my nuts in. So we're that way round. So we're looking at it top down. Okay. So what we've got to do here is we've got on the outside you've got the ridges to push the mask up to, but on the inside you can only look at it. Now what you can do if you want to is take the exterior one, number 3, okay, and get number 3 in place. So you can see there we've got a radius at the top. In fact, what I'm going to have to do here is take this one out, because it's preventing me from seeing where this one's going to go. So we've got number 3. So we've got a big radius at the top, small radius at the bottom, sharp corner at the front. So we can put this in like that. As long as you don't press it down, you'll be able to move it around. Okay, and then the cotton bud, just push it down like that, using the tweezers to make sure it's gone into the corners. And then with the 28, that's the bottom, isn't it? With the 28 we can actually look that mask and line this one up with it. That's the, yeah, I've put it on the wrong side, haven't I? I haven't. That's the right side, number 3. This is for this side. So I need 26. This sometimes happens that the numbers get confused because you don't know here if you're looking at it that way up or that way up. Obviously they are looking at it inverted, so it doesn't matter, everything's all symmetrical, but it becomes quite obvious when things are wrong, so don't worry about it. Okay, so this one's going to go on here. You can see now we got the big radius at the top. Got this wrong again. Big radius at the top, smaller radius at the back, pointed at the front. So now what we can do is look at that, and eye it up and line it up with what's on the outside, and just put it down. Simple as that. Okay, so what we'll do now is take this one off of here, stick that back on the sheet. We'll grab number 1, okay, there's number 1, take that one off. And then put that one in there, just like we did on the other side. If you get it right in the light reflects off the shiny bits, and that enables you to see. I'm going to do this off camera now because I need to do it under a magnifier. I'm going to mess it up, and I'll come back. Where we've got the pink bits here, that means we have to go in with a masking fluid. I'll probably use this one, which is awesome, or I'll use this one, the blue one. I don't know which one I'll use yet. So I'll see you in a minute when I've done all this. So that's that masking all done. As you can see, these aren't scale kit masks. They are the best I've ever used. They are just incredible. I mean, you can see this canopy here, when you look at it from the side, you can see it's got this bulbous top, like a Spitfire Mark V. And it's bulged on the sides, and there's nothing straight. But even with all those compound curves, you can see how those masks just fit absolutely perfectly. They're set for the Border Model Lancaster. It's just out this world. The Kits World one is awful, but you can see how these things fit. They're absolutely amazing. The masking tape on the outside is just to stop any of the black paint getting on the outside. I'll probably use like a XF85 rubber black because it's acrylic base rather than, yeah, it's an acrylic lacquer rather than like an LP. And then if any bleed does go on, it will just easily be removed with a bit of thinners, whereas the LP might be a bit more troublesome, and it may actually stain the clear if it gets on there. So I'll probably use water-based here. But there we go. So you can see we're in there, and then we've got these little panels in here for this bit. There's only a couple of windows in there, you can see. So yeah, we're good to go. So we'll get those painted in the black. As I say, these things, absolutely incredible. I took those ones off on the outside. I put them there to show you it's a method you can use to line them up. But I would always take them off before you go fitting, because when you're fitting, if you're using liquid cement, if it happens to get near the corner of the mask, whoomph, it's going to go under it and it's going to ruin your clear part and ruin your day. So well, there we go. I also wanted to see actually how this front glazing fits, because that's one thing Sully said to me about his kit. The windshield didn't fit very well, but bear in mind that he cut it to hell because he was depicting a smashed window, wasn't he? Let's see how that fits on there. Well, mine fits perfectly, so obviously it was something to do with that. That fits on there perfectly. It's starting to look like a Gannet now, isn't it? So we can get these painted on the inside, and then we can look at getting them on. And what I'll probably do is temporarily fix these in with a bit of blue tack on the inside or something, I don't know, because I'm going to display this model with it all open. Right, see you in a minute. Okay, so we've got the black done, so we'll have a look. We'll do this windscreen first. So we've got to find the corner of the mask. I'm going to start at the bottom corner. Actually, I'm going to use a scalpel, it's going to be better than that. Just going to find the bottom corner, just get under it and gently lift it. Get my tweezers, I'm unprepared again. So get under there, just lift that one away nicely. There we go. That down here. You can reuse them if you want to. I have done that in the past. I think I did it on a Lancaster turret. You do need to be careful not to scratch. See, look, I've just done there, I've scratched the paint there, and that's right at the top as well, so I'm going to have to paint that again, which means I'll have to mask this side. So yeah, be very, very careful. I should be doing this under a magnifier really because I'm bloody blind. But basically, yeah, get under the corner. I'll get them all off before I do any repainting, because I'll be forever mixing paint again. But it's very, very difficult for me to see. So I'm going to do it under a magnifier, and then I can show you the result. Okay, so this has turned into a complete and utter effing nightmare. You can see here there's a spot. I had a stray piece of masking tape stuck to the frame, so that's going to have to be painted over again. Here, as you just saw, I scratched it, so I'll have to mask. I'll just have to put a piece of tape over the other side just to protect it from overspray. And I bet when I take the tape off, in fact, what I'll do is I'll detack the tape on my hand. Oh dear, and it gets worse. Yeah, so this one here, I'm just going to basically shield off everything from that area. Oh, piece of tape isn't big enough. I just want to basically cover up all the clear where it's going to get to. So there we go. And then here, as you can see, the acrylic paint from Tamiya has gone through the masking fluid. And when I looked at the bottle again, it says paints containing water are not recommended for use with micromask. Yay! So I've got a bit of a clean up now. I've got some IPA here. Get a cotton bud. So if this happens to you, obviously don't buy micromask. It's going to be easy to just come in here with a cotton bud and just go round and just remove there we go, just like that, and then we'll come in with another one and clean it all up and everything. Get off! Bit of bloody fluff stuck on here. So we'll get a clean cotton bud. Oh, bloody waste of time this has been. I wish I'd used lacquer paint now, then I wouldn't have scratched so easily, and I would have had this issue. So it's worth remembering. Maybe I didn't leave it to dry for long enough or something, I don't know. Luckily the masks are quite wide, so it's not too difficult to get in there and remove it, but there we go. So I'll have to keep going, and I'll see you back in a minute. Okay, there we go, all done, all touched in, and I've got the masking removed. So you can see that internally we have the matte black frames, and externally we'll have the grey paint over it. So you don't need to be too fussy like I am with the black paint, because it won't really notice, because you're not going to see it, because it's not, you're going to cover it up on the outside. So let's have a look at getting this this windshield fitted. So we'll put that to one side. Now here we have some paint. So we'll just get rid of that. And then I think on the bottom edge here we'll have some paint as well. So we'll just get rid of that. Okay, make sure it's all nice and clean on the inside, no finger marks or anything. We can get, never use an old cotton bud, always use a new one. You don't know what's on an old one. Just make sure we've got no bits of dust or anything in there. And then we can drop this on like so. It fits absolutely beautifully. I'm not really worried about how it fits the canopy because the canopy is going to be open. But that is a perfect fit. It is absolutely perfect. That is Tamiya good. So I'm just going to put some extra thin on the front here and let that capillary in. Some people will tell you that extra thin will make your clear parts cloud. It won't. I'm just going to put a bit down in that corner. I was kind of hoping it would capillary along, but it doesn't like it is. That has. That's good. Right. So we can turn this over. Put a drop there. Nope, that's not doing anything. And you want to make sure it's pretty well glued on, because the last thing you want to do is be taking your masks off after it's all painted and then it pops off. But I just want to make sure we got cement in there, make sure it's held down. I would much prefer if they did what Tamiya did and used part of the fuselage as the clear part, and then you wouldn't have this joint to worry about. The joint would be somewhere down here. But that's going to be absolutely fine. That's the nicest fitting canopy I think I've ever done. Or maybe the Stuka was as good, but it certainly wasn't better. That is absolutely awesome. Just going to push it over to the side a touch. I'm just going to look under the magnifier a minute. I think I may have it just over one side a bit. Yes, I have. I'm just going to give it a nudge over. I can always blend that in by sanding if I need to. I doubt you can see what I'm doing, but I just had it over that way a touch. That's better. Now that is glued on absolutely solid. You'll see a lot of people use canopy glue or white glue or whatever. Trouble is with that, if you knock it, pull it about, it'll come off. By using extra thin, it's welded on there, it's not going anywhere, and also you don't have any issues then with doing the seams and stuff. So we got this one, got this tape here to come off. How are we doing for time? We've still got a few minutes. Just want to see how this is going to fit. So that's going to go in that way round. It's got great big tabs that locate. No, it doesn't go right back there, Nigel, it goes here. Idiot. So it's got I'm trying to see how it fits. I can't see. Okay, it's got perfect locations. It sits down in like that. Look at that. That is beautifully designed. Look, we've got these sides here. And they go down in like that. They slot down into a gap that's made for it. Beautiful. And then that fits around that pilot's bulkhead. That guy in there must get pretty claustrophobic, eh? Okay, so what we're going to have to do here is just hold that down while it's glued. So what I'm tempted to do, I don't want to use tape because what I think I will do, get a piece of tape. Yeah, we can get a cocktail stick. Put a cocktail stick on the fuselage there and then pull the tape down. And that will keep it down. This side appears to be staying down on its own. But we'll just give it a helping hand. I've got these old bits of tape here and they're losing their tack, I think. Another cocktail stick. So hold that there. And what the cocktail stick's doing is keeping the tape away from the join so the glue can't capillary up under. So there we are. So what we can do is just get a drop of extra thin. I just want to check this is right actually before we commit to glue. Yes, that's right. Okay, so drop a glue in there. Drop a glue in there. A drop in there. I saw that shoot down there. A drop in there, there we go. So that's that piece held in. So we have now fitted our clear parts. So basically what's going to happen is, that one's for the back, this one, that's that one, that's going to go in there like that. But I'm going to have it back like this. So I've only left the mask, I've cleaned them out, got them all nice and polished as you can see. I've left the masking tape on this just to prevent them getting scratched. So we're going to leave that to dry and we'll call that a day for part 5. And I will see you all very, very soon for part 6 because this is turning into a lot of fun. Really, really enjoying this and absolutely quite shocked how fast it's coming together. I mean, it's not far off. Another cough break there, sorry guys. Oh, I've done the exhaust. I sprayed the insides in the flat black, the rubber black, and I've done the outsides with Alclad jet exhaust. So they look quite authentic. We won't be fitting them right now, we'll fit them at the end. Otherwise it means we've got to mask them and everything. So yeah, well, I think we're getting to the point now where we can think about getting these canopies masked or just completely cover them up. We can start getting some work done. And yeah, it's starting to really, really come together. I wonder about the weight in the nose. If we include our tailplanes and our rudder, yeah, we're still okay. Oops. Yeah, it's sort of leveling out on the leading edge without those bits, so we're going to be okay because the actual undercarriage mount is right back here. So, you know, we're going to be sort of here. We're not that far ahead. Then we have got the prop and everything to go on, but that's, remember, that's 65 grams and 20, was it? They told us 12 grams, didn't they? And I went 17. Yeah, they told us 12 and I went 17. And up the front here they said 55 and I went 65. So bear that in mind, guys. Bear that in mind. Right, so I will see you all soon for another one. And hope you enjoyed that. I think in the next one we'll be starting to certainly get some paint down. So I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.